Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, depending on where you're tuning in from today. It's Kate from Zen Stitching, and I'm back with another one of our artist series for the Making Zen Online Retreat. It's completely free. If you haven't signed up yet, go and check out makingzen.com. It's full of fun. Not only do we have artists who are going to share with us their processes and the way they like to work, which I think is such valuable insight into the creative minds. We also have a lot of fun happening in the Facebook group as well. So if you haven't yet, go and pop over and join in everything that's happening over there. It's going to start getting really exciting as we see everyone starting to make along with the projects. And of course, the other reason why I'd like you to pop on over there and say hello is because we have a lot of wonderful prizes to give away too. We've got lots of great sponsors. And yesterday I was talking about Uppercase and the beautiful magazine subscription that one lucky person will win. It's just gorgeous. And today I wanted to share with you these. So these beautiful scissors or snips, and these are brought to us by the Shokunin store. Now, she is based in Australia and she works very closely with artisans in Japan. So what we're looking at here has been made by hand, sharpened by hand, and they are the most exquisite tools to work with. And one lucky person will get a $100 gift voucher to spend at the Shokunin store. Oh, amazing is all I can say. They are just so nice to work with. But before I ramble on too long, let's see if our lovely artist of the day, Clarissa Grandi, is around so that we can have a chat with her about things. Whilst we're waiting for Clarissa to join us, drop in the chat if you've signed up already. I'd love to know who's signed up. Hello. How are you?
Kate, how are you?
Good, really, really good. Hello to everybody who's joining in and following our conversation today as well. Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you. It's been a while since we last chatted and you've been busy.
Yes, I've been busy. Well, I've jacked in the day job and oh, and, and yes, and I'm going to make a go of making my living from art and from teaching art. Yeah, geometric art.
Isn't
So
that exciting? This is kind of like to make that nice transition from one thing that you love doing to something else that you really love doing.
yes, and I've been a little bit of a chicken and I've done it in stages. So, so I dropped down my main job, I dropped down to 4 days a week. And then I thought, well, I think I can manage 3 days a week now. But that was quite a good way to do it because now I've got some established things happening in the business already and I kind of know the ropes of those. And it's a nice platform to be able to bring in some new things. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually think that's a really good way of doing it because then that way, you're testing the waters and you're not kind of like throwing in the towel, so to speak, and you can see if it's working and it's
and
comfortable and kind of make
enjoy
those,
it.
yeah.
Something to be wary of, turning your passion or hobby into your business. You do, yeah, you have to approach with caution. But I've done it as a side thing for a few years now, and I thought, yeah, let's go for it. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, that is so exciting, and I'm so thrilled for you because it really is a dream come true, I think, to be able to be teaching what you love, which is the art. I mean, I know you also love mathematics as well.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, the really fun thing is I was chatting with Kyla, I think it was yesterday. Oh, my days are blurring into one. Anyhow, she was saying how much she loved your class. And because we were talking about keeping an open mind and just doing everything because there's so much to learn from everyone and you'll always get something of interest. And Kylie was like, yeah, when I heard the word math, I'm like, oh, that's not for me. And then she saw what you were doing and she got so into it. And I just said, yeah, imagine if math was that fun for everybody at
Yeah.
school. So I'm sure you've had brought so much joy to so many people.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Ultimately, maths is really about pattern spotting, and you can, if you choose, just kind of leave the numbers to one side and focus in on the patterns. And yeah, that's what I really enjoy.
You're a
Yeah.
lady after my own heart. I love patterns. I'm always
Yes.
looking at them.
Yeah, it's all about the patterns.
It is, it
Yeah.
really is. And that's what's really interesting. And this was another thing that someone said to me recently, and it made me look at numbers in a whole different way. Numbers are just another language. It's like, if you can understand how to read English or French or German or whatever, then numbers is just another way of understanding things.
Yeah.
And I thought, huh,
Yeah. And
yeah,
it's actually just a language that we've kind of invented or created to describe the patterns that occur in our
yeah,
universe. Like, if you have one
yeah,
thing and then you have another thing, you have two things. And it's like, oh, let's find a way of documenting this somehow. And so the language of mathematics is all about that. It's just our natural world, really, and our universe. And the ways of documenting sort of what happens and what patterns occur there. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And it is, I think why I resonate with what you do so well is you take that and you turn it into a visual language that we can understand. And it's also very beautiful as well. Yes.
yeah. That aspect of maths is my favourite side of mathematics. Mathematics, it's like a gem with lots of different facets. And once you find one that you can look through and see clearly, it's like, oh, I like that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I absolutely.
Calculations or any mathematics at all for what I
Mm,
teach. Excuse me. It is just about creating
yeah.
patterns. Yeah.
And I think that's fun. It really is. It's a visual language. And when you can start to see the pattern, that's where it really does start to become really exciting. But what I'm really curious, how did you, like you say, maths has many different facets, and you found one to look through that you really enjoyed. How did you find that? What was the kind of the path that took you on this journey?
A long and torturous one. I,
They're often the best, aren't they?
I always had an affinity, even back at school, for both mathematics and art. And after I left school, I went off to art college with all the cool kids, and my DM boots, and off I went. But actually, it wasn't right for me at the time. And I dropped out and life happened. And it wasn't until much later in life, in my early 30s, that I thought, I'd really like to teach. I think I was still wondering what to do when I grew up. And I thought, I'd really like to teach. And then I thought, what would I like to teach? And I had various kind of qualifications under my belt. Maths wasn't one of them. And I thought, I really enjoyed maths at school. I think I'd like to teach maths. And so then I had to go and do a little bit more study in maths before I taught it. But I was so lucky that it was just like it was meant to be. I was so lucky on my teacher training course. You're sort of parachuted in, dropped into local schools to learn from teachers on the job. And my first training school had this really creative maths department, and they used to do mathematical art activities with their students. They had an origami lunchtime club, and it was my first kind of the first time I came into contact with this fact that maths could be visually beautiful too, and that there was this facet to it. And I was immediately hooked, and I was sort of, you've got to teach me how to do all this. So I started going along to the origami club at lunchtimes, and I found out how to draw the patterns. And that's when I first came across it. And a few years later, I started creating resources to use with my students once I was a qualified teacher. But it wasn't until a lot later that I started doing it for me. And I excuse me, I'm just recovering from a horrific bug. But I came across a wonderful artist, also an ex-maths teacher called Samira Mian, and she's based in the UK, and she teaches Islamic geometric patterns such as you'd find on the walls of mosques and palaces and so on. And I came across one of her courses and I thought, wow, they look great. And I went along and she introduced me to watercolours, and it was all such fun. And that's when I developed the bug of doing it myself. Yeah. Well, quite a few years ago now. Yeah.
And what makes your art really interesting? Because you've got the mats, you got the watercolors, but then you've also got the stitching. So how did that come to be?
That is the best thing that's happened to my art, the stitching. I love the process so much.
Mm,
It's just so sort of meditative, and you have to go
mm,
slow. You can't
mm,
rush stitching, can you? And yeah, so it's really I just love the kind of state of mind it brings on, but I also love what it adds to my work. So I do my paintings and drawings, tend to do them on watercolor paper, and so it's a flat 2D surface, but stitching adds a layer of kind of texture and 3D-ness, something that you want to reach out and touch. And I just love having added that to my work. I I was inspired by an artist called Kellyn Nelson, who's an American artist in Florence, and excuse me, she I first came across her work, and she stitches geometric patterns herself in a slightly different way than I do, but her work is just gorgeous. And it was when I saw her work that I was like, oh my god, that's an option.
mm.
Wow, I can stitch onto onto paper. And and it's really opened up a whole new world for me, and I love sharing it with people because invariably people get hooked. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely. I mean, I am, and I love the process because I played along with your other classes as part of Making Zen, and also on is it Teachable Skillshare that you
Yeah.
have. Um, And I love the whole process of the drawing of the mask because as a kid, it blew my mind when I realized that with the compass you could draw the pretty like six petal
Flower.
star. I
Yeah.
just did that over and over again because I thought that was amazing. And so I loved how you taught making the designs, coloring them with the beautiful watercolors because that's another passion, and then coming in and stitching. And something that I really resonate with. So again, you're slowing down, but it's the sound of that thread being pulled through the paper.
Yes,
Mm.
that's a lovely sound. A kind of rustling somehow. And also the punching of the holes in the paper, that's pretty satisfying too.
It is, isn't it? It's amazing. It's like this.
Like a sensory experience. Yeah, it's great. I really think.
So it is. It really, and it is. It's so tactile. Like you've got so many different elements of intrigue and delight. You know, for want of a better way of describing it, because you start with the geometrics, you add the color with the watercolor, and then you do the stitching. So it's like layers of joy as you're making these
And then
patterns.
it uses lots more art materials as well, because you can now add threads and needles and yarns to your
Exactly.
subject.
Lots more joy. Lots more stuff. And I'm sorry that you're not feeling very well. It's I'm going to do a little bit of talking to let your voice rest just for a little bit. But I understand you were on a retreat last week. Were you teaching or were you
I
participating?
was lucky enough to be co-teaching, so
Mm.
co-facilitating the retreat in northern Spain, the most wonderful little retreat centre on the Camino de Santiago. And I've collaborated with Basher and Bertrand before in July. Not the first time I collaborated with them, and this was the second time. And
Oh, no.
yes, so it was fab. Luckily, I was ill before the retreat. It's
Okay,
just
so you're still
I'm
recovering.
just
Yeah,
it's So I was fine on the retreat, thank goodness.
thank
And great,
goodness.
yeah. Well, yeah.
But it sounds like a lot of fun because I got I'm on your newsletter and so I was and I'm because I saw the one that you had in May, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like so much fun. But I was literally in Spain the month before, so I couldn't justify going back
Yeah,
twice
yeah.
in 1 year as much as I would like to. But for people who may not be familiar with the retreat, what do you do? What's it all about?
Well, the couple that run the retreat centre, which is called Flores del Camino, Flowers of the Camino, have an interest in sacred art, which is very often geometric. So be it Roman mosaics or Gothic rose windows or ancient petroglyphs, the area that they're situated in is surrounded by all these examples of various types of sacred geometric art. And so they've researched it, and they run retreats, and they are very much retreats. You know, you are sort of tucked away from the outside world. You really leave it all behind, but there's an element of history, of architecture, and of drawing and painting. They make natural pigments from the land, so you get to play with their natural earth pigments and construct and paint beautiful patterns. So the most recent one I did, the theme was Samhain, and the entry into the winter season, really, preparation for winter. And so we went foraging, and we used our forage bits and bobs as tools to do mark making, and we made nature journals and visited ancient dolmens and petroglyphs. It was really cool. It was a really cool week, yeah.
It sounds amazing. And we've got a comment coming in from someone who I think might have participated, Michelle Oz13.
Michelle, hi Michelle. Yeah,
She's
on the previous one. Yeah.
For people who are watching the recording, I'm just going to read it out so that they know what we're talking about. Michelle is saying it's an amazing place, a fantastic retreat with amazing people. She's wishing you to get well soon. It's well worth looking up, and the food is yummy. Ooh, so you get good food too.
The food is tip top. We were wondering how to get them a Michelin star, but I think you need staff for that. You need to be running like a proper kitchen. I don't think you'll manage it. But honestly, the food's great, really good. Home cooked with love.
Yum.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but the food I've noticed in both Spain and France and Italy, so pretty much Europe, it's, I don't know if it's the sunshine or what, but it just tastes really good. These simple home cooked meals and just
I think it's the olive oil and the butter,
probably
possibly. All the
those
good.
good things.
Yeah.
Now they sound amazing for people who are like, oh, that sounds like lots of fun. Are you going to be doing any more?
Yes.
Secret.
I've been rebooked for next year, which is always a relief. A bit like when you rebooked me. It's like, oh, phew. Must have gone all right first time round. Yeah. So I'm running one, if not two, next year. Yeah, so that's great. So roll on summer, really.
Ooh, so same kind of dates as this year?
Sorry.
At same dates as this year or
Similar
different
dates,
times?
at the end of July and the end of October. Yeah.
Oh my, I think a lot of people are going to check that out. We'll make sure we can share those links with people so that they can
Great. Yeah.
look into that too. Yeah, yeah. Now, I am so excited that you're part of Making Zen. As everybody knows, I love what you do, and I'm so excited that everybody else gets to share what you're doing as well. Would you like to give us a little sneak peek of what you're going to be teaching at your workshop?
Yes. I've got it all here. So the workshop that's part of the free retreat, I can't remember what day I'm being aired, but we're doing, my workshop is called Drawing and Stitching Curves of Pursuit. So essentially I wanted to teach the drawing aspect as well, so that people have the skill then to design their own templates and patterns if they wish. But I've also provided 3 different types of template as well, so that you can do 3 different types of pattern. And the patterns are based in a hexagon, because a hexagon is it's my second favourite shape. It's a really good shape because you can do lots of different things with it. So this is the one that I stitched during the lesson, and it looks like kind of impossible to figure out, but actually it's really simple. It's a series of individual triangles, and each triangle you essentially do the same thing. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, so this is stitched. It might not, if I hold it up a bit closer, you can sort of see the raised edge there. And you can do, like I said, there are 3 templates. So I'll quickly show you the other 2 styles. So there's this style, which looks a little bit like it's in a cube. And then there's this style, which I turned into a little Christmas card. Wow. So that's red on a craft card. So that's the perfect surface, actually. The craft card was a perfect surface to stitch into. And then I just covered up the back of all the stitching with a little piece of paper. So yeah, I'm not sure who's going to get that one yet, but
someone very lucky. We've got a question coming in. Sandy is saying, trying to join live. Any help appreciated? Sandy, if you'd like to send me a message, either via, actually, just send me a DM and I'll be able to help you with that. If you're wondering about these workshops, so I was just having a quick squeeze so I could remind myself when Clarissa's workshop is. It's Tuesday. So that's Tuesday, the 19th of November. So a little bit more than a week away, and it's free for 24 hours.
Yes. Absolutely. And I did mention that you can draw them as well. And then if you draw them, of course, you can paint them or colour them in with your favourite media. And this is one that I painted. I drew and then painted with gold pens and my paint pens, acrylic paint pens. And it's a completely different vibe, really bold.
Wow. Really, my goodness, that is amazing.
Bold and in your face. So that's an option. You don't just have to stitch. Once you know how the patterns work, the world's your oyster. So hopefully we'll enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what people make. Yeah.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's one pattern, but you can choose to interpret it in so many different ways, like with the stitch, with the paint, and then just changing up the different both, exactly. And changing up the colors is also going to make it look different every time you do it as well. So you could literally just do a deep dive into one pattern and spend a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have a feeling I might have come up with my 100-day project for next year.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't it? So, oh, I'm excited already. Maybe I'll make a head start. And I know, because this is just so amazing and you're so amazing, we've got even more for people who sign up for the VIP pass.
We do.
Would you
I so enjoyed taking part in the VIP pass last time. And I shared my popular botanical mandala class, but this time I thought it would be nice to share another stitching class, because hopefully you might get the bug in the first one. So I've shared a class called Geometric Paper Embroidery, which encourages you to get out your compasses as well. So if you've got an old school compass lurking around somewhere, or you kind of take the plunge and invest in a brand new one, I teach you how to construct that beautiful 6-petal flower you referenced earlier. So I teach you the construction of that, which some people might remember from school. And so with a compass, and then I show you different ways of stitching it. And again, I provide some templates. So if you haven't got the kit, you can still take part in the activity. I've got a few examples here.
Please.
So it's difficult to see the stitching, but this is the little 6-petal flower. And then there's beads on this one. I don't think you can see very well, but there's little beads on the sort of, on the intersections, on the junctions, and it's done with gold pen and then stitched in a sort of aubergine coloured thread. So there's that one. Or of course you can add colour. So so this is one with colour and done with metallic gold thread. I think you can just about see a very fine metallic gold thread on that one, and then one with sort of very stitched with a fine metallic thread. You can only just make it out. But yes, so that's the pattern and the stitching in the bonus class.
Just so lovely. And is that the flower of life design. Is that what it's known as?
Sometimes called the flower of life. Sometimes it's called the seed of life when
Seed of
it's
life.
one.
Mm.
And then the wonderful thing about it is you can sort of map it outwards. You can just keep adding circles, and that's when you get lots of little flowers all joined up, and that's sometimes called the flower of life.
That's the
It's quite a modern name for it, only comes from the 1980s. And some people just call it simply the 7-circle grid, because it's one circle at the centre and then exactly 6 more around the outside that creates the petals of the flowers. So that's what it's all.
Ah, oh my goodness, that is so cool. Thank you. I had no idea that that was such a recent name for it. I thought that was a name that went back quite some time.
No. A writer called somebody Melchizedek wrote a study really on the pattern and where it's found sort of in the world around us and different properties it may or may not have. And yeah, he came up with the term in the 1980s, so which is quite a while away now, I suppose.
No,
The
it
glory.
wasn't. It was just last week, wasn't it? The 80s?
Yeah, and Bomber Jack. I remember it well.
I know, they were the good old days. Stonewashed denim and big shoulders. There's
Oh
some,
yes,
and the hair.
before hairspray. Yeah.
So much fun. Oh, Clarissa, well, it's been so lovely to connect with you again. And congratulations. I'm so excited that you've made the transition to being a full-time artist teacher. That's just so exciting, so rewarding.
Thank you so
And I'm so thrilled that you're part of Making Zen so you can share your beauty with the world. Um, so
Well,
for
thank you so much for. I was so chuffed to get your email inviting me to be part of it again. It's a wonderful, retreat, and it connects so many people to each other and to these lovely
yeah,
processes. So thank you.
yeah.
Yeah,
It really does. It gives me goosebumps when I think about just how lovely everybody is who participates and just all the amazing stuff that happens from the
yeah,
retreat as well. Like so much creativity. I
so,
absolutely love it.
yeah.
Yeah, for everyone. Well, much love. I discovered yesterday that if I do this for long enough, it will give me love hearts.
Really?
Yes, look.
Right. Will it work for me?
Yeah, give it a go.
Will it work? It's not going.
Have to do some practicing.
Uh,
Maybe.
oh no.
Anyway, I'm sharing the love for all of us. Well, thank you so much for joining today. Lovely to connect with you. Can't wait for everybody. Just a quick reminder, tickets are free. Go and check out makingzen.com. And Clarissa's free workshop is on Tuesday. But go in and dive in if you're interested. Get the VIP pass, and then you can have all of this goodness at your fingertips.
You get early access, is
You
that right?
do. People are starting to play already. You can get in as of yesterday, was Monday actually, losing track of days. Well, much love. I'm sending you lots of positive vibes. I hope you get well really quickly and keep on creating. Keep on that spreading that wonderful joy in the world.
Thank you, Kate. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.